Tonight, in the name of Islam, ISIS is now calling for Pam Geller's head.
We will not abridge our freedom of speech in order to not offend savages.
She's here to react to these death threats and will go one-on-one with the radical London Imam Anjem Choudhury.
We lost 200 businesses. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been lost.
And looting and rioting that was all caught on camera in Baltimore continues to go largely unpunished.
Have the police come by since then and tried to help you or tried to catch the guys who did this or anything like that?
No.
They haven't come at all?
No.
Will there be real justice for business owners who lost everything? Plus, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein appears in public for the first time in 4 years. So should the Clinton camp be worried? All of that, plus the great one, Mark Levin. Hannity starts right here, right now. And welcome to Hannity. Radical jihadists tonight are calling for the head of Texas free speech event organizer Pamela Geller. A chilling online post reportedly written by an American jihadist warns that Geller cannot hide and that she will be killed for daring to hold a cartoon contest. Now, the post also claims that ISIS has trained over 70 fighters in 15 states right here in America who are ready to react. And anyway, joining us now to respond to these new threats against her life, Pam Geller. Also with us, radical London Imam, and that's Anjem Choudhury is back with us. Pam, before I get to your side of the story, I want to remind people about Anjem. He's been on the program before. You want worldwide Sharia, is that correct?
Of course, yeah. We believe that the whole world should be governed by divine law.
And you support the idea that women can drive, correct?
That's a Saudi rule. Although women can drive, it's up to the head of the Islamic State to decide how the rules of segregation should be applied.
Muslims that leave the religion apostate should be killed.
Well, of course, the Prophet said whoever changes his din, kill him. So this is the job of the state to implement the rules of apostasy. And gays and lesbians should be killed. I'm just reminding my audience of your position. Gays and lesbians, the penalty for that is death, correct? Well, you know, if they do the act publicly and there are witnesses, it does carry capital punishment, yes.
Okay. Now, let me go to you, Pam. This is a serious threat. Basically, a fatwa, a death threat, has now been issued. Your reaction to that, have you had any contact with the FBI?
They have not contacted me, but of course we've now increased my team. I have a team now, private security, and NYPD counter-terror has been in touch with me.
In touch with you.
And so yes, we'll all be working together.
Did you reach out to the FBI?
I did.
And the Homeland Security hasn't gotten a hold of you? The FBI hasn't gotten a hold of you?
No, and this is interesting because this is a terrorist threat, and the FBI, President Obama, should provide security. There's no question about it, because he created an environment that raised the stakes on this. If you recall, I had a free speech conference on September 11th in 2012. I had Lars Vilks, a cartoonist there. It was for freedom of speech. Yeah. And the fact is, nobody tried to attack it. Nobody reported on it. But that same day, the Cairo embassy was attacked. Benghazi was attacked. They flew the flag of jihad on top of the Cairo embassy, and our U.S. embassy apologized. They apologized for insulting Islam.
Let me go to Mr. Choudhury. All right. All these incidents over a cartoon, Anjem, all these incidents over a cartoon, do you support this death threat against Pam Geller because she ran a free speech contest drawing cartoons of your prophet?
Let's be absolutely clear. We're not talking about Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck. You're talking about people who deliberately had a competition to insult the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
To make cartoons.
If you saw the cartoons
so you support the death.
If you saw the cartoons, just bear with me, Sean. If you saw the cartoons that Charlie Hebdo drew, you would understand the anger. And now this woman wants to draw cartoons or have people draw cartoons to insult the Prophet, knowing full well that this carries the death penalty in Islam. So definitely she's asking people to attack.
You support the death penalty for Pam Geller,
security on the day.
who's not Muslim. You support the death penalty because she had a cartoon contest. Is that how frail you are in your faith, that you feel so insecure that you cannot?
It's not about me. It's about the divine law.
Your prophet cannot withstand a cartoon being drawn about him?
That will carry capital punishment, Sean.
So you want my personal views. You support the death threat. You want to kill her.
And the Sunnah of the Prophet.
You want her to die.
You know what? She should be put before Sharia court and tried. And if found guilty, of course she will face capital punishment.
She's not a Muslim, Anjem.
She's not a Muslim. She doesn't believe what you believe.
Before
you don't believe in liberty and freedom and freedom of speech. You want to oppress her over a cartoon.
And Salman Rushdie and Hirsi Ali. You cannot continue to go down this road and expect the Muslims to stand back. You know, I would retaliate if someone insulted my own mother, let alone the Prophet, who I adhere and, you know, I love 100 times more than my own family.
So if anybody says anything against your Prophet that you don't like,
if someone attacked his mother, what about the Prophet?
If somebody says something about your Prophet that you don't like, you want them dead.
Any prophet.
Your prophet.
You know, if they said that about Jesus or Moses or Abraham or the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
I didn't hear anybody.
It's the same difference.
Wait a minute, because there was a crucifix submerged in urine, and I didn't hear you or any other Muslim say that this person ought to get the death penalty. Andre Serrano. There was an elephant dung thrown on a picture of the Virgin Mary. I didn't hear you or any other Muslim condemn that or threaten death there.
In this country, they depicted Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, as a homosexual. That was called Corpus Christi.
And you support the death of them too.
Road Theatre, the Pleasance Theatre, and we had a demonstration, and Christians were coming to us and saying that we should have been out there. So we always raise our voice, no matter which prophet of Allah, you know, has been attacked. And what I would say to you and the American people is, instead of insulting the prophets, why don't you follow them? Why don't you abide by what they say? It's a completely absurd.
Because they don't agree with you.
You're attacking the very people who we should take guidance from.
We don't live under your oppressive Sharia law.
Here's the key.
You will do one day, Sean. The Sharia is coming to America, as you well know.
Here is the key and critical difference. Canon law pertains to Catholics. Jewish law pertains only to Jews. But the Sharia, which is dictates every basic aspect of human life, asserts its authority over non-Muslims.
The Jews and Christians can live under the Sharia. Why can't you live there?
This is silly.
One at a time.
The Sharia asserts its authority over non-Muslims, unlike Jewish law and unlike canon law, which is why under the Sharia they're slaughtering the Christians, they're slaughtering secular Muslims across Africa and across the Muslim world. The fact is, in that fatwa that was issued against me, my name is preceded by Khanzir. Now, Khanzir means pig. It's the word Muhammad used before he slaughtered beheaded hundreds of Jews. So to first say to the liberal media that this is not religious is absurd and obscene on its face. To blame me and say that my cartoons are controversial, excuse me, murdering cartoonists is controversial. And it is the jihadis that made this a flashpoint, not me. And does anyone really think that these jihadis would have just been peaceful, loving Americans?
Okay, can I come back to that?
Of course they wouldn't. I submit to you that our conference saved... no, I'm talking, sorry, I know you're used to stepping over women, but you're not going to have it here, okay? My conference saved lives because I understand the threat, and we had enormous protection, and the Garland police were superb. But those jihadists drove 1,000 miles for this conference. Would they have hit a mall? Would they have hit a coffee shop like in Australia?
Or kids?
That conference saved lives. And shame on the cowardly media.
Let's go back to the Imam. Go ahead.
Pamela, first of all, the word khanzir I think is too good for you in the first place, you know. At least the khanzir worships Allah. The fact is that you insulted the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and obviously you knew the consequences. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had thousands of dollars worth of security.
I live in America.
When you talk about murdering innocent
consequences.
People, the United States of America are the champions of murdering innocent people.
The champions of freedom,
you torture people.
And look how you can't take it. Look how you want to kill people. Look how you want to kill people.
Are Muslims occupying America? I think you'll find that the Americans are occupying Muslim land.
Mr. Chowdhury.
They're the ones who killed up to 1 million people in Iraq and Afghanistan.
In the name of one at a time,
Americans and others in self-defense.
Let me ask you a question. We have watched, in the name of your religion, your so-called prophet, we have seen people's heads cut off. We have seen girls kidnapped. We have seen girls raped. We have seen girls thrown into slavery and impregnated by radicals in the name of your religion. Is this the prophet that you praise so much? Is that Islam to you?
Sean,
excuse me. Answer that question. Is that Islam to you? Is that Islam
I'll tell
to
you
you?
something, Sean. That reality only exists in Fox News.
Excuse me, I have the images of Coptic Christians on a beach simultaneously beheaded in the name of Allah.
Are treated as subordinate whores. You're the one who believe in pornography. You're the one who put naked women in cars.
So if you disagree with pornography, you're going to cut somebody's head off?
Our women are dignified. I'm sorry, Sean, you're living in a cuckoo land. That is Fox News.
I'm living in cuckoo land, and you rape young girls and kidnap young girls in the name of Boko Haram and Allah?
No women are being raped. The only women being raped,
excuse me, those
Sean,
girls got returned to...
Have a look at the statistics.
Nigeria, excuse me, they're pregnant. And they were raped after they were kidnapped and taken away from the arms of their mothers, sir.
Islam. The women over there embrace Islam. The people who are being killed in Nigeria,
all over the world in the name of Islam, in the name of your prophet.
By the Nigerian regime, by bad luck, you know, Jonathan and his own successor, not by the Muslims.
Pathetic.
We are the ones who are defending ourselves, Sean. Wake up. We defend ourselves in Syria, in Iraq, in Chechnya,
You're evil
in India,
and
in
pathetic.
Kashmir.
All right,
we're defending ourselves, Sean.
Thank
Wake
you,
up,
Pam.
really.
We'll give you the last word.
You have this so-called woman on your show.
We'll give you, excuse me, you have to be quiet. There's another person here.
Roman Catholics don't like when their religion is mocked, but no one talks about provoking them. Christians don't like it. Jews don't like it. But this is what it takes to live in a pluralistic society. You have the right to offend and be offended.
You know, every time I put Andrew on, let me tell you something. People will complain that we put him on. This is the problem. He believes this.
A lot of people
And a lot of people believe this. And there's a lot of terror in the name of Islam, in the name of the prophet that is happening. And you know what? People ought not get killed over a cartoon. And that's what's happening.
But why don't we expect that from the Muslim world? We all understand that there's a right to offend. You know, they don't like the Christ on the cross in a jar of urine or the elephant dung. We didn't like it. We didn't kill anybody. There's Holocaust denial cartoon conferences. The Jews didn't kill anybody. What is this the low expectation of soft bigotry? Why don't we expect that from the Muslim world?
In that sense, it's almost condescending that we would expect less.
That's exactly right.
Well said. All right, I got a break. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I hope you stay safe. Up next tonight on this busy news night on Hannity.
So this was your life savings that you put into this?
Exactly. And I spend a lot of time to work on it, fix everything on it, and for just half an hour, they destroy everything.
The forgotten victims of the Baltimore riots, hundreds of small business owners, their lives have been ruined, but the mainstream media only seems to be talking about Freddie Gray, but not on this program. Tonight, we're going to tell you how you can help. That's next, and then later, Geraldo Rivera, the great one, Mark Levin, all here to weigh in on the liberal hypocrisy when it comes to the situation in Baltimore and much, much more. Straight ahead.